guys. Okay, it's Wednesday. We're back in the office today, and I just did this in the reels, and I had to show it to you guys. Okay, so the tan and the burgundy, we are really working around the clock trying to get those made. So everybody who pre-ordered, thank you so much, and they're going to be going out as soon as we can have them ready. This guy just came in, and it is absolutely incredible. It is just beautiful in the caramel suede. It's stunning, right, Matt? Like, look at it.
Everyone loves this bag.
I love this bag so much, and I think it's just a wonderful
From the moment
bag.
we saw it, we're like, oh.
I know, all of us were like, oh. So it's in the caramel suede with the beautiful leather strap.
This is a handbag that makes me wish I carried handbags.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, and it's just, again,
like, you heard me, I was like trying to figure out ways that I could get it. Like,
and I was like, no, that's not going to work. But it's just soft, slouchy, and just absolutely wonderful. So I'm really excited about this bag, and it just came in. So if you're looking for a Jack bag, this one is available because it just arrived, but it's beautiful. And we'll look at it in detail in PTTV. We could pair some straps with it. It'll be really nice. Today I was also playing around with this guy, who I think is just stunning. Like the zebras.
Zebra burgundy?
Yeah, it's just so beautiful. I just love them. I think they're so wonderful and just beautiful.
It's
just beautiful.
This hair and the color.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
The color is wonderful. I love it with navy blue.
Good strap pairing too.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. So that's what's going on around here. Just, we've been like, we're doing a really fun event next Saturday. And I keep forgetting where that is. It's like, if you're in the Bay Area, it's like right when you get off the bridge going towards the East Bay. Really cool, like so many vendors going to be there. They're
Marche.
all like, all women like owned businesses. It's really super cool. So I'm excited to be a part of that, and we're gonna do, we're gonna have our bags there. We're gonna do a little charm bar. I think it's just gonna be a fun time. So if you, I'll link to it online. You can get tickets for it, and I think it'll be really fun. What else is going on?
I think you should share your James Clear quote that you shared with me today.
Yes, I sent it to Matt. It said, there is no wind, right?
If there's no wind,
row.
Exactly.
And I think that's very good. And I think that's how we do things around here, right? Like, many times there's no wind. But you can't just be like, ooh, I'll wait for the wind to come, or else you'll be sitting there for a very long time. So row. And I think that's the key, right?
Yes.
It'll keep you moving. What else is going on? Yeah, it's just been a crazy week, and I think we're just trying to get back into the groove of things, and just really excited for Christmas and excited for Thanksgiving, and
it's really feeling like fall and Thanksgiving.
yeah, we're really excited about it. It's been a little crazy because, as you know, the saga of, if you've been following us, we started with taking out all the bathrooms in the house because, not because we wanted to, we had to, because it was not functioning anymore. But finally we got that all kind of nicely done, and I'm so happy to show it once. Well, now we thought it was done, and then of course I think most people do this when they're in there. We're like, God, everything's taken out of the room. Why don't we repaint the room? So now we're undergoing a lot of other things going on in the house, and it's been a little nutty, right? So I thought, ooh, I'm gonna have
But well worth it.
I know, it's well worth it, but the best part is Matt and I were laughing because we're like, ooh, finally we have a bathroom to use, and then now we don't have a bathroom to use anymore, and I'm now relegated back to the outside shower. I took a shower outside again today.
Impressive.
Thank God for the outside shower.
Yeah.
I'm really into the outside shower because I love this concept. Because I've been doing cold showers for a very long time, so I'm kind of used to it, and I kind of look forward to it. But so weekly, I'm just randomly, I could use a shower inside.
Yeah.
I'm like a dog. Now I'm like, I'm gonna go. I have, like if you have a dog and they could pee inside, and then they're like, no, I'm gonna go outside. I was like, I'm gonna do an outside shower. I'm the only one. Nobody else is using them.
I've been randomly doing it too.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh.
I love it.
When? Because I have to clean up all the nuts and stuff.
Well, there's been a lot of wind. There's been a lot of nuts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nuts in there today, and it hasn't been used.
Yeah.
I had to whitewash it.
Did you see the crazy wind yesterday?
Yeah, it was a little nutty. So
I thought
anyway,
the trees were going to snap.
Yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, I've been using outside shower.
It's invigorating.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And especially at night, you look up, you see the stars. It's like, it's really, it's nice.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll show, and it's been kind of a
And like
really
the cold air, and then you feel like the contrast of the warm water.
Yeah, it's good.
It's nice.
It's good, and it's just we'll give you a tour of the bathroom when we can actually use it again.
So funny.
But you know what? It's been a really great experience. It's like going into doing something that we had no understanding for what we were doing. And then I think it's really interesting.
That was overwhelming at that moment.
It was very overwhelming, and I think that's what it's like. One of those things.
Shout
where
out to Kate and Amy.
Yeah, so like Kate and Amy from Capturing Home were really great, and they kind of gave us the recipe, but then they left. So I was like, okay, I have the recipe now. Now I have to actually make this thing, and it was a little daunting at first, but now I really like.
But the recipe was key.
Right, but then I think it was interesting because then once you got the recipe, you kind of threw in your own flares. And I think once I got my like bearings and understood how to like go about it, it was almost like, okay, it's like making a bag. And I think what it is like with anything new that you try, I think this is what, somebody was asking me this the other day. They were asking Matt and I this question, like for any new entrepreneurs who are out there and want to start a business, like what's your biggest advice? And most people are like, just do it, do your passion. But my advice is you really have to hone your craft. Like Matt and I really honed our craft in what we were doing in a professional environment prior to doing what we were doing. So honing your craft and really understanding your craft is key. And I think there's not enough people everybody wants to do something so quickly these days.
Well, it's this notion of putting your 10,000 hours in.
Yeah, and I think honing your craft is critical to have a successful outcome in a weird way, because then you know where the blind spots are, and you also know when you don't always know, but at least when.
But don't you think it also gives you the strength in those inevitable entrepreneurial moments where it's like just brutal, or it's just like we're talking about before, no wind, row. It's like because you've seen something through for those 10,000 hours, Correct. Or to row, you're like, okay, well, but like. You could also row with other things, and that's what I've learned is like by doing all the other things I've done in my past, if I came to a problem, the solution might not be there, but I could use another tool because I know like, oh, I've done that before, but maybe I could use that tool instead of this tool and actually try to fix it. So I think, long story short, I think with the bathroom was the same thing. It was a totally new craft. It was a new project. But because we kind of honed our craft and what we were doing and building something, it allowed for me to utilize the same tools and same thought process to really then enact it. And it was really cool because then we got to really utilize special types of tiles. I'll go through it and like understanding like, okay, well, we don't know how to use these tiles because even our guys didn't know how to use these tiles. And we were using a lot of materials that people normally don't use, and we had to figure out how to do it in a creative way. So I think long story short, again, is it's really special at the end. The end product was something that we actually were like, wow. It was a lot of heart. It was in our imagination, and we really didn't know how to do it, and we procured all these things. And we still don't think we're experts. It's just
we figured
out what
we figured it out, but it was cool. And then like procuring all these really cool bits that came from like, I was ordering stuff from like Morocco. I got these weird little shower, like the towel holders. I think they were from Poland.
But that was one of the big learnings. It's like some elements it's okay to order the Moroccan one, and others you don't want to do that.
And that's lesson learned.
We didn't know that going in.
Right, but thank God we had the great advice, and we knew that we had to do it the other way. So, anyways, I think it's just super cool, and I think
again, shout out Kate and everything.
Right, and then at the end of the day, you want to build something that's really going to last for a long time. And I think it's the same with our bags. Like, we know what leathers we have to use in certain
That's a really good
places.
Point. You took the same approach to designing this as you do to our product.
Yeah, and it was really fun. And I ended up using the same design tools. So I used Illustrator to lay it out. Yeah, it's really fun. So we'll definitely show you guys. And we did a lot of out-of-box thinking stuff. So it was fun. Anyways, I don't even know why we were talking about that.
Because we started from the if there's no wind row.
Yes. Yeah. So I think it's if there's no wind row, but I think you have to learn how to row and really hone the rowing before you kind of set out to go sailing, I guess. That's
before you put yourself in situations where there's no wind.
Yeah, I'm not going in there and I'm really bad at rowing, but that's all right. I think there's a whole way to do it. So.
And this is our path. I mean, our path was, all right, let's start out. You start out in a lower risk environment, which was a corporate environment.
Yeah.
And then we honed our craft for all those, or academic and corporate environment.
Yeah.
And then at some point we're like, okay, which path? Stay in this path, which many of our friends did. They went on, they're successful.
Yeah.
Or let's
go off on
path.
your own and torture yourself.
And that's the path we took.
But it's unbelievable. We utilize every single tool that we've ever used in jobs that, it's even like I tell my kids, like, I'm using tools that I've learned when I was doing a stupid job when I was 13, and throughout my time in high school and at college, I did sales on the floor at Nordstrom and at Ian Taylor, at different places, and I learned how to sell things and understand what people wanted, and really all these little things that you do that are outside of your wheelhouse, and you think like, why am I even doing this? I think if you like really try to do it and take it seriously, whatever you're doing, you'll learn something that you'll use as a tool later on. And I think that's you keep getting more tools,
Yeah.
And then that's cool, because then of course inevitably, like today we got hit with 3 things where I'm like, never done this before, never solved this before, and then they ask you like, well, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, not sure. And then but you have to sit back calmly and then utilize your tools, get them out, and then solve it. So anyways, I think that's the key, right?
Yeah, that's the message.
That's the message. It's always solvable, and you can always do something. I mean, I don't know if I could build a rocket ship, but it's probably the same.
Well, given enough time, you could.
It's the same mentality, right?
I think that's always our mentality. It's like, well, give it enough time. And it goes back to the key thing. It's like, just never give up. Once you give up,
I don't know if you want to ride in a rocket ship back.
I know, but it's metaphor, right? I mean, once you give up, you're never building the rocket. That's for sure.
That's true. So, but never see tasks that you are given where they're below you. That's the other thing I've learned. Like, there was one time, I remember when I was doing my job and I just started in New York, and I moved from San Francisco to New York, and I was doing something pretty with brains, a lot of brain power things in San Francisco. And then when I got to New York and I started working in fashion, one of the first jobs I had to do was put together like 10 swatch books, basically cutting little swatches and making them all perfect. And it took hours, and I was like, why am I doing, I don't even, what am I doing here? Like, this is ridiculous, like, this has nothing to do with what I know how to do. But anyways, that actually was a very good skill set I learned, because I learned how to color, like work with colors, understand how to put colors together, and it was just that process taught me a lot of things about how you put colors together and how you coordinate colors.
And I think it's that, and I think it's beyond that. It's where, I mean, obviously, if you're smart about what you're doing with your career, you don't want to get bogged down in those type of tasks. But there's also a fine balance where it's like, that's how you demonstrate you're invaluable to the team too, and you can be counted on to do things.
I'll do it. I'll do anything. And but then again,
be smart, lazy about it. It's like do it, but then figure out a way to next time it gets. You know what I mean?
Of course. But then while you're doing it, you're like, why am I doing this task? Like, think of it that way. Like, actually, I'm learning how to do X, Y, and Z, and I looked at it this other way, and I'm like, all right, cool. Now I'm going to do this because this is a new task.
Or look at it as like, oh, here's the challenge of how to solve for me not doing this again.
Yes, I'm very good at that.
Right? Right.
If it's a task where it's like it could be optimized.
Yes.
And I think that's key. But you got to do it first.
Sometimes this needs to be done.
Yeah, but there's a lot of times when you have to actually go through it first, the like non-optimized way, to know how to optimize it. Because if you don't, then how would you know how to optimize it? Because then you wouldn't know where the pain points are.
That's right.
So,
but keep that perspective that when you're in it, the challenge is to get out of it and solve it. Don't.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
But that's our
good
approach.
words of advice.
That's our approach.
Row. That's what it is. Keep rowing.
Yes.
Even when there's no end.
Don't just stop there.
All right. Bye, guys.